Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm not doing the eye look because that's for future videos. You guys told me that you wanted to see looks with every single Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette that I have in my collection, and I'm filming that starting today. Today I use the gold palettes. You will be seeing that in the future. But today I wanted to film, since I'm going out on a date, a budge-proof base. So you will not see the eyes, you will not see the brows, and you will not see the lips. But everything that I use for foundation, when I want my makeup to never budge, I used it today, and I use products from my makeup artistry kit. So that tells you a lot because I only use them on my clients. Even one of the steps for the skin prep, because when I want my makeup to never budge, I want it to be like cement, but in the best way possible without looking like cement, and I want full glam and full coverage, I do these steps. This will be perfect for a date, for holidays, for a party, for any nighttime event, or any event that you want to have a full coverage face that will not budge and that it will not be cakey. If you need more information, I'm combination to oily, and I live in a place where it's humid and summer all year round. I wish it wasn't because it's fall currently when I'm filming this everywhere else, but here it's summer all year round, and if I don't do this, my makeup tends to melt off my face. Before we go into the video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Also, leave a comment below at the end. It helps my channel a lot. And if you want to see how I create a budge-proof base that you can use for dates or special events, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so to start, I go in with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base. And the reason why is because my skin hasn't been dry, but it hasn't been as oily as it was before the same way. And I'm always, when I'm going to an event, I'm always applying a super matte foundation. So I want my skin to look beautiful and with a matte but a natural finish at the same time. While I'm prepping my face, I always use a plumper if I have it. So I have here the Buxom Plump Shot, and this is the one in the clear shade, in the shade Filler. And I apply this all over my lips and let them plump and get hydrated so that when I'm applying my lipstick, it works just perfectly fine. For my primer, I have to go with a pore filling primer because I have pores all over my nose and I want my makeup to be matte and last longer. So I use the Laura Mercier Blurring Primer. This is beautiful, it's silicone free, and this has replaced all of my blurring primers that I've loved throughout the years because it feels like a lotion but it fills out my pores. For my foundation, when I want my makeup to last all day, I will go in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and this is super long lasting. It's the foundation that I will use on my brides, that I will use on clients, because we live in a humid weather, and this is like cement, but because of the lasting power, not because of the look of it. I feel like even though it feels like makeup, it's not as heavy as it should be, taking into account how long lasting it is. I'm using the shade 2W Rattan, which is from my makeup artistry kit, because I don't have it in my personal kit. I always go from less to more, and if I need more coverage that concealer won't give me, then I will go with more foundation, but usually concealer will cover what foundation won't. For concealer, I use a mixture of two. The Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Almond, and then I go in with the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Neutral. And what I do with this one is that I highlight Almond a little bit more. So I apply Almond in the highest points of the face, and then I go in with Fair Neutral from Tarte, and that will lighten my foundation, which you can see it's a little bit darker for me. And I blend that with the same beauty sponge. So that gives me a lot of dimension, and then I have to set everything, but not before I go into cream bronzer, which has become one of my favorite makeup steps, and one that I can't basically skip, not on my everyday and not when I'm going to an event. The one that I'm going to be using is the Charlotte Tilbury one in the shade Medium, and this one has been my go-to with the NARS Laguna 2. I love them both, but this one tends to be super handy since it has a big mirror. And I'm using a Real Techniques setting brush to apply this one because it's synthetic and it blends the cream beautifully. To set my makeup, I have a few steps. First, I will go with my beauty sponge and then remove any excess that I have, and then reblend my bronzer with my concealer and my foundation. Then I will go in with this Amazon Puff, and I will go in with my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder Ultra Blur. This is the one that is talc free, but you can use either or. I love all of the Laura Mercier powders. And then I will set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath powder. I grab a good amount of powder because I tend to bake my under eyes and my nose while setting the rest of my face. And even sometimes before doing everything, I will do my eyes, I will do my brows, I will do everything, and then go back, remove the powder, and then do bronzer, blush, and highlight. I'm only gonna leave my nose baking, and I'm gonna go in with the Pat McGrath powder and the airbrush brush by Wayne Goss, and I'm gonna set my under eyes with just a small amount of powder just to make it even more blurred out. If you don't have bangs, go ahead and bronze your forehead. I have bangs, so I don't tend to bronze my forehead, but I will do my cheeks and then my chin, and then I will use my Ita brush to contour, which I will show you guys how I do it. So one thing that I do is the Morphe brush. This is the Morphe M504, or a bigger fluffy brush. I will grab the bronzer and start to contour my nose. Before I do that, I have to remove the excess powder. But then my nose will look super white, and we don't want that because then it will take all the attention, and what we want is a nose that goes with the rest of the bronzy and chiseled face. So I grab a little bit of the bronzer, and then I start to put bronzer right here and then blending it into my brows, but not on top of my brows, just right underneath to shorten my nose. It looks crazy, but I will blend it at the end. And then with the Ita brush, I will go in, same bronzer, and then I will shorten my nose on the tip, and then I will chisel either side of the nose. Whatever powder I have remaining on my Wayne Goss airbrush, which was the brush that I used for powder, I will use it to buff this, but at the end of my makeup, I always buff everything. So for the highlight, I use the one from the My Dream Cheek palette, and I like to apply it first before blush because I don't like the blush being overwhelmed by the highlighter. I want the highlighter peeking through the blush. And I know people tend to apply highlighter in the tip of the nose, but I don't tend to do that because my nose is the first thing that gets oily, so I only apply it right here on the bridge and then on my cupid's bow. For blush, you guys, since this is a date night event type of base, I'm gonna be filming for 16 days, I think, every day with a different Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna use the gold palette. I need something that's neutral, but you can change for whatever blush that you love. And I'm gonna be using Pat McGrath Flirtatious blush. And the brush that I'm using is always my lovely Yachio brush from NARS. And then you guys, to finish this up, what I do is I grab either my Radiant Light from Hourglass to buff my makeup, or then I go in with my Light Catcher powder by Laura Mercier in the shade Honey Star to buff everything. So I will grab a dual fiber brush. This is a MAC one, an oldie. It doesn't have a number anymore. I think it's 187, if I'm not mistaken. So I grab a good amount of it, then I put it in the back of the lid, and I buff my face without being super careful. This is not gonna highlight your entire face. What it will do is it will buff your makeup and it will give it a hint of a glow to it without looking shimmery. So I will show you one side, and then I will show you the side that it's not buffed so you guys can see the difference. You guys can see this side that is completely buffed in, and then you can see this one. So this one and this one, it's subtle, but this one looks more like it belongs into my skin, like I was born that way, and the other one looks more on top of my skin, even though it's well blended. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and film the gold palette video, which will be up way after this one because it will take me a long time to do the 16 videos for Natasha Denona. You can stay tuned for that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so that's it for this video. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're tuned in on my channel to see every single look that I create with every single one of my Natasha Denona palettes. I'll be doing glam looks and everyday looks that I do on an everyday basis. I will do office looks. I will switch it out so that you guys are happy with the content, and that way I can get use out of my palettes, and that way you can get use out of yours. If you like this foundation tutorial, also let me know below, because I usually don't film tutorials, but I think they're super helpful. They are one of the reasons why I got into YouTube. I love watching tutorials and learning new techniques. So if you like that, just let me know below and use an emoji, something skin related as an emoji if you watch the entire video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, if you stayed till the end of my video. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I love you, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.